Well, there they are. Ogden's Gold Block and Ogden's St Bruno Ready Rubbed. Um, the aristocrat of pipe tobaccos. There we go. Look at that. I was talking to an old timer in White's, Clive Fogg's tobacconist in Southampton, and he seems to think that it's not quite the blend it used to be, or I think the problem is that a lot of tobacco growers are going out of business and not growing tobacco. I think one of the reasons Dunhill gave for packing in a little while ago over here was that they simply couldn't source the quality of tobacco that they were able to before. So it may not be the gold block of yesteryear, but I mean the quality of St Bruno's remained pretty much the same. So I'm going to get them out and give them a blend. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Right, we're on. This is the gold block, very light in colour. A nice smoke. They used to have a great advert for it with I don't know whether you know Fawlty Towers. The major from Fawlty Towers used to do an advert for Gold Block, and he'd approach some young man in the golf club, remind them how generous their father was, which would prompt them to offer him a fill of the pipe from the Gold Block. At which point he put his rather small pipe away and pull out from his inside pocket the most enormous briar and fill it with the gold block. But very amusing adverts. Sadly, you can't get those. Obviously, I don't get those anymore. And then there's that's 25 grams, by the way. And then there's 25 grams here of St Bruno. You can smell it as it comes out of the pouch. It's a lovely aroma. I don't really, pouch aroma to me is not particularly relevant. I mean, how it smells in the pouch and how it smokes, often very different, and you can have something that doesn't smell particularly good but is a fantastic smoke. So there's the old St Bruno, a favourite of mine. Again, it's what would be called, well, its popularity means it's sold in supermarkets, but it is a quality blend and uh, slightly Lakelandy. I rather like it. So there we go. So I'm now going to, obviously being a unidexter, I'm going to have to do the blending off camera. I'm doing it in the Clive Fogg method, which is to do it on a newspaper. He does it on the Hampshire Chronicle. So there we go. So here we go. Well, there we go. The two Ogdens of Liverpool brands, Gold Block and St Bruno, blended together. Um, a chap on YouTube, I'll put a link to his page. He works for Gauntleys in Nottingham. He runs a little pipe club as well. Uh, does great reviews of tobacco, blending, cigars, all sorts of things. Very interesting chap. As I say, I'll put a link to his video. He switched me on to this. This is called Ogden's mixture, when you blend St Bruno and Gold Block together. So there it is blended together. It will be going into that jar very shortly, and then I shall fill my Stanwell and have a puff. Hello, and good morning, and welcome to another instalment of my pipe life. Smoking a Peterson's Sherlock Holmes collection. I think it's the return of Rathbone. I recently had this pipe sent off to the guy that runs Northern Bras. I call him Dr. Pipe, and had it reamed, had cleaned and whatnot, and had a new stem with a fishtail bit on it, stem on it. The P-lip, I find the problem with the P-lip is they're quite broad and they're very narrow, and so you can't stick the pipe in your mouth and talk. It doesn't sit in the mouth very well, and so not that comfortable. And with a big pipe, and this is a big piece of briar, it it doesn't make for a comfortable smoke. So after many years, I've had the pipe about must be getting on for 10 years now, and to be honest with you, I didn't smoke it. Well, I did smoke it a fair bit when I first. It was one of my, I just like the pipe, but I just found the P-lip annoying, so went in to see Clive at White's in Southampton and asked him if he could get a fishtail stem on it. He said no problem at all. So I sent it off. It cost me about £9, and it's a beautiful stem, and hey, really nice. It sits in the old mouth there perfectly. Still haven't managed to find those flints, Heyo. I will. I'm smoking some Ogden's mixture. I put 3 little clips I did when I was blending it. I did it the other day. I bought a pipe off eBay. I've bought several off this chap. His Millie the dog. Really good little site. It has a few high grades on there, but mostly just nice solid smokers, which are quite go for quite reasonable prices. I bought a Malini with a lovely silver stem with a kind of rusticated one. That's just really pleasant. And I bought a Wilma Supreme, which I got for a song. It's a English maker that's sadly no longer with us, who made some very good quality pipes. And I bought, actually, what I'll do is I'll go and get the pipe. And I must go and get something else as well. It's all about preparation, gentlemen. When you're going to make a video, make sure you're prepared, rather than having to get up, wander around and look like a complete arse. But never mind. This is the pipe I bought off of him. When I got it, the stem was absolutely yellow. But I thought, he reams the bowl, gives it a good clean. So I thought, oh, I'll have a smoke. And I was doing the video for this Ogden's mixture, excitedly smoking my nice new Stanwell. I think that is a beautifully classic Danish shape. That just says Denmark to me. It makes me think of Jens there. And I've switched it to lacquer bends, but I'll tell you what. About halfway through the bowl, I got the most appalling shock. It was like I was smoking mushrooms. And I'm not joking, that kind of fungal, so, when you eat raw mushrooms. And I thought, God, it's disgusting. And I thought, Ogden's, but I thought I was, first smoke of it. I thought, this is horrible. And so I kept persevering, and it sort of went, but in the start of the bottle, I thought, well, perhaps it's the pipe. So I smoked a bowl of it in another pipe, and it was fine. Then I thought, right, gave a little. I at this point filled it up with rock salt, or kosher salt, should I say, and some alcohol, and left it for 2 or 3 days. And to be honest with you, it didn't draw much out of the bowl, to be frank with you. I was disappointed. There was quite a bit in the shank, and so I knocked it all out and let it dry out a little bit for a day or 2 more. And then I filled it up, and lo and behold, about halfway down the bowl again, the vile mushroom returned, and it's just absolutely horrible. It's a lovely pipe, but I think it might be beyond help. I cleaned the stem. Acacia Vet Chuck did a great video, which is on my favourites thing, about 5 or 6 down now. That was absolutely green, and I've only got one hand to the work, so it's quite difficult to do it. But this stuff, Barkeeper's Friend, my goodness me, that was really green. I'll put a picture of it just to show you how green it was. And as I say, I struggle a bit because obviously holding something as small as that and rubbing it vigorously with the Barkeeper's Friend, but it's brought it up a treat, and it's really. I've never been able to clean stems. I've bleached them and made right messes of things, taken logos off, all sorts. But as I say, Chuck's video, check it out. Barkeeper's Friend, get yourself some, because the cloth went yellow just a couple of rubs. And if it's a really soiled stem, you make a paste out of the powder, and then you just coat the stem with it. Leave it for 10 or 20 minutes, and then come back to it, wipe it off, and it just lifts the stuff off. It's wonderful. So anyway, Ogden's mixture. It's a combination, as you'll see from the earlier videos, of St Bruno ready rubbed and Ogden's Gold Blend. And I have to say, it's a rather pleasant smoke. It's grown on me. After the mushroom experience, I was rather wary, and I thought, well, maybe it was the tobacco, but not at all. And as you can see, I had 50 grams of it, and there's not much left now. I've been puffing away. It's hard to Gold Block's a Virginia Burley, and St Bruno's Virginia with a kind of Lakeland sort of flavour to it. You get well, it's a very subtle combination of the two flavours, and it's rather pleasant. I would highly recommend you go out and get yourself. They still sell 25-gram pouches, St Bruno and Gold Block. I'd highly recommend you go out and get yourself a couple of packs and do the mixture and have a go yourself. It's very pleasant, very pleasant. I was at home at Mother's some while ago and ran out of tobacco, the nightmare of all pipe smokers, and being I had to resort to the supermarket, and I saw Gold Block, and I'll give it a whirl. And Gold Block on its own, I did not enjoy, but this mixture, it's sweet, it's leather, it's very pleasant, very very pleasant, and I'd recommend it. I was glad to see that much of America, sadly not North Carolina, was spared the worst of that terrible storm. I've seen a couple of people's videos who live in New York, and didn't have rain, as they say, but I'm very pleased that it's not been as big a disaster as it could have been for you all. So anyway, there's just a quick little video kind of update. Just took a while. Yeah, so anyway, I hope you all have a very good week, and cheers. Went on a very long walk this morning, and he's absolutely knackered. There you go, I thought you'd like to see him, yeah. Nico.